Welcome everybody to AJ and Patrick's Historical War Games. On this week's episode, we are playing SPQR, which is a game from Warlord Games in the UK. They're fucking awesome. They make Judge Dredd that I played previously with the boys. And on this one, we will have the Romans. That is me zooming in here. Romans versus the Gaul, led by Patrick. And what's really cool is that in this game, you are actually able, in SPQR, to create your own units. So there's a talent tree for your heroes. You create your hero, and then you pick 2 talents, and then you level up those talents in a campaign, and you see what kind of injuries he gets. So we have created 2 legendary heroes. I have that right here. So the hero leading the Gaul warriors is Titan McCrazy. And because you're a hero, you get to give a +1 to various stats. So he gave a +1 to melee and a +1 to his armor. He also has 2 talents, the leader of men, which he can do the voice of command. And he also has Titan of battle, which gives him the hammer of the gods. And you'll see these as we get into the battle.
I got Thor's hammer right
there. You go, right there. Oh, hold on, let me zoom in there. Oh, that's the wrong camera. This is the zoom in. Yeah, it's on the back side there.
That's Thor hammer, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, hammer of the gods.
And we have the Centurion Angry Joe. And I have +1 to melee, just like he does, and +1 to wounds. I have the Sword of Vengeance talent, which allows me to do Wall of Iron. And I have Shield Master talent, which allows me to do a Shield Bash. So, got that. I took a chainmail shirt, a pila, and a dagger. McCrazy, did you take any weapons?
I did. I took 1 great axe, which is a smasher weapon,
which will help with your hammer of gods. So you have 1 great axe.
Yeah, it has lethal 2, and it's 2-handed.
Sweet. And did you take any upgrades for any of your units over there?
So the only other upgrade I did was on the actual Titan, which is chainmail, which will be -1 to move and +3 to armor.
So McCrazy is also wearing chainmail.
Because my guys lack armor.
Right. Okay. My forces, I went ahead and upgraded. Like I said, I already told you my upgrades. But both of my units have been upgraded with pila, which is, the pilum that the Romans use. They have a large one and a small one that they throw, at charging units, Gaul units, which to sort of do their best to blunt the charge. Okay, so let's get the game underway. The scenario that we are playing is called Sack the Village, and we've got the village set up. This is Patrick's farmland.
My crops!
This is very rich farmland, and I am trying to establish an empire here, Patrick. How dare you, savage! Leave these lands. I need to feed the glorious Roman legions. And Patrick's like, get the fuck off my land.
Get out of here.
So,
run red with your blood. The rivers will run red.
We did not expect to see such a savage warband. We are outnumbered nearly 2 to 1. Hopefully our armor will be able to sustain us through this, because now our objective is to simply light these huts and villages on fire. I just need to light 2 of them on fire, and I win. And Patrick needs to prevent me from destroying some of these.
I must save the homeland.
Save the homeland. Yeah. All right. So I'm the attacker, so I begin. Now, we've never played this game before, so it's going to pretty much go pretty slow as we try to figure out how to do these things. So,
but we will try to make it entertaining.
We'll try to make it entertaining.
I like that. I like the action.
So, luckily, I like it when the game gives us these reference cards for our units, right? It tells me exactly what they do, and so it seems like my Legionnaires move at 5 inches. So when you activate a unit, you can give it 2 actions. So I'm going to go ahead and give it 1 action to move. So if I just move one of my guys, I know approximately how far the rest of my guys can move. So that is 1 action. I do wish that the game had a nice little reference sheet for us. Would have been pretty sweet to do that. Fortunately, they don't. There is a rules reference thing in the box, but it's huge and unwieldy, so, and it's weird. Let me show it to you, just so you know what I'm talking about. Here's the rules reference sheet. It's like, what?
Box.
It's like half a box or something. And it doesn't even have like turn actions or anything. It's just basically what the checks, weapons, and armor is. So they just expect you to know. And it's a very, very simple system. That's probably why they don't put it on there. Basically, activate a unit. It gets 2 actions. What are the actions? Move, shoot, melee, special.
Got him.
That's it. Move, shoot, melee, special.
That's all you need.
So I guess I'll do 2 moves. These 2 actions must be performed at this time. You're not allowed to hold an action in reserve to use later on. A unit may choose to perform the same action twice, or may choose to do a combination of them. So I guess I will move twice.
Move again.
Yeah. And we only move at 5. All right, so I've pushed up here, and then let's see. The game turns and phases. One player will move and fight with all of his units. When he's finished, his opponent takes over and runs through all of his units. So it is like Warhammer, where it's back and forth. So my hero movement is 6. So I guess I'm gonna move these guys first. I'm going to have them come through the forest here.
And that is considered light cover, correct?
Yeah. Okay. And then I will... I'll take a second movement action to bring them to the edge of the forest. So that they're still in there, gaining the cover bonus. And then I will move my hero into the cover of the forest as well. Okay. That completes my turn and is now up to Patrick.
All right, so these are all considered 1 unit, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we actually go, make sure that you have your units, because I think they're roughly of equal size, right? So what's the size of these guys? Count them all.
21. 19.
All right, so give 1 over there, yeah. So they're units of 20. Got it. All right, go ahead. Here comes the goal. Defend the village.
So each unit can take 2 movements, right?
Yeah, each unit can take two movements. shouts in angry French. Oh, it's Gauls. So they were Gauls are mostly made up of French forces, right?
Yeah.
So they Sacre bleu! You just put a big old massive Gaul.
Just like, "Rah!"
Muscles and swords are coming at me. Usually, there are movement trays that kind of help out with this, but I don't have any right now. Well, they're not really French. There's like a mixture of Germany, French, Belgium. That's like saying the Saxons were English. No, so you guys are right. It just really depends on what region this particular. So if we say that this particular region is around the area of Paris, then yeah. Or what will in the future become Paris, then yeah, they're probably made up mostly of French. But there was even, I think, let me check the book, because the book actually tells you. France, Belgium, even Switzerland. Described by the Romans as barbarian. They're just barbarians.
Barbaric.
Destroy these barbarians. Remove them from our precious farmland.
Savages.
We need to feed our army.
Will not go quietly. And so can I add my hero into, is that like an action?
Right. So, I also I forgot how to do. I forgot that. No, remember it was just like a movement. It just happens when you move.
Yeah.
So let me read that real quick. Leading units. A single hero may simply take a move action and move within 1 inch, and then you're pretty much counted as being part of the unit. So I'm gonna say that my guy, when I moved through the forest, Centurion Angry Joe joined this particular unit here on the right flank.
Is up. All right.
Okay. So you've completed your turn.
Yes.
Okay, this is a pretty straightforward game, honestly. So, and since it's kind of introductory and our armies aren't very, I don't know, flexible.
Yeah.
All I've got, I don't really have siege weapons with like fucking harpoons and shit or archers.
It's gonna be.
I'm just
melee.
gonna. Yeah. Let's just get stuck in.
Yeah.
Now,
Mosh pit, baby.
Yeah. I will perform. I think Patrick may have made a tactical error because who's this? This is Solid Crusader. What up, bros? Before hoes. How's Saturday night going for you? Love your content. It's going well. We are fighting a historical battle. The Romans versus the Gaul. I'm trying to burn his village down, and he's like, "You goddamn Romans."
You think I was too aggressive?
You get it. Well, I'm just looking at, because I think that you're gonna want to charge me.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you did your double move and you ended up right here, I think I can move charge, and get you first.
That's what I was saying. I was like, am I moving too close?
Moving too close. Yeah.
Well, also I don't like
But at the same time, you have to protect those huts.
Yeah, that's
But what was it? It was 6 special actions, I think, that I have to take in order to burn a hut down.
Okay.
So, and I only get 2 actions a turn. So it's like literally I would have to spend 3 turns burning a hut down while I'm surrounded by your barbarian Gaul warriors. That's not going to work. So really, it's just, let's just fight each other.
Yeah.
And whoever is left standing can then burn or
I think that's the mindset I was in. I was like, let's get into it.
Let's just fucking get into it. Because if you roll better than me, then I'm dead. And then plus your archers can support where, I mean, that's another thing I probably would have done is I would have put the archers out in front or find a way where the archers can start firing at my forces.
Well, they're so weak. I feel like they needed to be behind cover.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But I'm not sure what the rules are of firing into your own, melees. We didn't really cover that, did we? Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I want to take a melee action on this left flank. I want to charge these barbarians. We'll teach them how real Romans operate. Yeah. Allows the units to rush into close combat and tear the enemy apart. So let's do a melee action. When performing a melee, the unit moves into contact with 1 or more enemy units. If it is unable to do so, its move score is not high enough to reach the enemy, then this becomes an ordinary move action instead. The unit using a melee must try to get as many models as possible into contact with the enemy unit. No, those that cannot get into contact will try to get as close as possible. Okay. Let's do it. So these guys only move 5. So is Scarlet still here? Because this is Miss Scarlet. Oh, she's going to be the first one that actually makes it into battle. So you got, actually, I don't know. She's kind of short. So I might have to take a move and then a melee.
But you only have 2.
I have 2 actions. So this is the move.
Not here to see her.
No.
No.
Fucked up.
Done fucked up.
Okay, so there's the move, and then we'll do melee. Once a unit making a melee action moves into contact with an enemy, the scrap starts. To make an attack, go through the following steps. Every model in both the attacking unit and the enemy unit make a melee check. Okay, so we're going to go like this. She's going to come around. Whoa. This guy's going to get stuck in. He's brave. And the rest of them are just going to be right here. So everybody is in contact now. And
metal clanking.
Yeah. So once a unit making a melee action moves into contact with an enemy unit, the scrap starts. To make an attack, go through these following steps. Every model in both the attacking unit makes a melee check. With every model in both the attacking unit and the enemy unit makes a melee check. So go ahead and tell me your melee on your warriors.
+2.
+2? Yeah. Oh shit!
Yeah,
mine is +2 as well.
Oh.
So we're pretty equal here, and you have way more guys than I do.
Well, what about your armor?
So my armor is +3.
See,
that's where
I'm 0.
Okay.
Man.
So every in both the attacking unit and the enemy unit makes a melee check.
Oh yeah, definitely Alchemist.
So here's what I don't get. Is it just the ones that I'm within 1 inch of, or the whole unit gets to fight? So you had 20 guys, right?
Correct.
All right, so grab 20 dice. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. So I only get 8 dice.
I gotta grab more dice. Exactly. I don't stink.
So in this game, you know, it gets rid of some of the arguments from, you know, rules like, you guys are touching my guy. Oh, that guy is 1.2 inches away when your melee range is only 1 inch. You know what I mean? It literally says every model in both the attacking unit and enemy unit makes a melee check with each melee dice it possesses. So every dice that scores 6 or more is successful. For every 10 models in the unit, a +1 is added to all of its melee. So you actually need 5s, and I need 6s.
Okay.
I'm fucked.
You need
Why the fuck did I charge a superior force? Each successful attack will deduct 1 wound from the target unit. As with all checks, rolls of 1s or misses, 6s or hits. I do have armor, so hopefully that's gonna that's gonna. There's no going first. When a melee happens, that shit just go. We just go. We both roll. At least that's the unit. That's the understanding I have from this.
To see who goes first?
No. Tristan, you don't play this game.
Man,
he helps with Blood Bowl, but
he's making himself a rules expert.
Do you have SPQR? If you do, give me the page number. I don't think. Anyways, this is what it says. It says we both make melee checks. This is fucking crazy, though.
There's a lot of dice.
So that's like this. Look at how many. Push your dice over there, and this is how many dice I have, and it's like, what? This is not gonna go well. All right, well, let's see it. So you roll on your dice, Cam, and I'll roll on mine. Let me do mine first.
Okay.
So not a single hit.
Oh man, because you need 6s, right? Yeah. Oh man.
That's ridiculous.
First half.
Got 2 hits.
Oh no.
Oh, and now you mix some of that.
Yeah.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits.
Yeah.
0 hits versus 5 hits. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's a lot of dice.
Okay, so you're taking 0 wounds, whereas I'm taking 5 wounds. So now I need to do my armor checks. Now, armor. Luckily, that's where my guys excel.
Yeah.
I have chainmail, which is armor +3. So an armor check +3. Okay, let's see how we actually roll for armor. Final result. If the final result 6 or more, okay. So I get how many times you hit me? 5? Yeah, 5. 5 wounds. Now I roll these dice, and I need to hit 6. Because that's how easy this game is. Just always remember 666.
Yeah.
It's the number of the beast. But I get +3 for a chainmail shirt to each one of these rolls. So 5 + 3 is 8. That's definitely a 6. That's a 6. That's already a 6. 2 + 3 is only a 5. So 2 wounds go through. So 2 guys get killed. If my guys only have 1 wound, they do. Oh no! And since Miss Scarlet wasn't here, she's gonna go down. And then the dude who was too confident, he gets fucking stuck by the 3 guys over there, and he goes down. All right, we'll leave the dead bodies on the pitch there. All right. Well, that was my that unit's action. Let's see if I've got anywhere else that I can go. So what's interesting to me then is if I just get engaged, then all of your guys are fighting. It just seems ridiculous. Like I guess they oversimplify the game to speed it up, right? and because those guys are too far back to actually be contributing to the battle, but they did contribute to the battle.
They're like bottlenecked in there.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I guess where's McCrazy?
Crazy is in cover.
Okay, McCrazy is behind that. I think I'm going to charge McCrazy.
Come at me, bro.
I'm not sure I can actually make it.
You might have to spin your
10.
decision. Oh, you have 10? Oh, wow.
Well, that's one move and then a second
right.
one. Yeah.
So, but you can't attack though, right?
I can. Well, I'm doing a 5-inch move, and then the next 5 inches is the melee.
Okay. So, like when you melee attack, you have a range of the melee attack.
Now, when you melee attack, you just move into range.
As long as it's within 5 inches.
Well, see, that's what you got a rule book right there, my friend.
Hey, man. Let's look.
Look under melee actions and make sure that I'm doing this right. A unit using a melee action must try to get as many of its models as possible into contact with the enemy unit. Those that cannot get into contact with the enemy unit must try to get as close as possible. When moving as a melee action, the unit obeys all the rules for terrain, and all models must still be able to form an imaginary chain with no gaps more than 1 inch wide, as covered on page 9. So as long as there's no gaps, meaning my guys are further away from each other than 1 inch, they have to kind of form a unit coherency.
Staying the same.
And then fighting. Once a unit making a melee action moves into contact with an enemy unit, the scrap starts. To make an attack, go through the following steps. Every model in both the attacking and enemy unit makes a melee check. For every 10 models, each successful. But see, the one thing that I don't understand is why don't... Tactically, I should get something for charging. Oh, that's it. That's in the advanced rules. Remember, let's look in the advanced rules. When a moving unit into close combat, all of your models are able to move in a straight line before contacting the enemy. You will gain a bonus, reflecting the momentum of someone running at full tilt. So my guys did get a charge bonus. Every charging model will gain the lethal special rule to all of its attacks. If a model already has a lethal, then it's plus. Okay, so on that last attack where I rolled all my dice, I had lethal. So let's see what lethal does.
So
Yeah.
since more than half of my guys are in cover here,
Yeah.
is that...
Yeah, I'm curious. Look up cover while I look up lethal.
Okay.
Lethal X. This weapon is truly terrible. Lethal score is used as a penalty to an opponent's armor checks and is also the number of wounds removed from a unit upon successful strike. However, a lethal weapon could not remove more than one model from a single successful attack unless so, yeah. It didn't do anything. The lethal didn't do anything because you don't have any armor, right?
No.
All right.
Except for my hero. My hero's the only one with armor.
Time, you actually have the rules. Okay, so what you said before was bullshit, right? Like, I don't attack first and then he attacks second. We attack simultaneously. Or do I attack first and then he attacks second? Yeah. All right. Okay, so did you find anything in cover?
Yeah. So when checking for line of sight, you may find the target is partially hidden behind a building, rock, or a wall or something similar. If more than half of the single model is obscured, it has cover. If more than half of the models in the unit are similarly obscured, then the entire unit will benefit from cover. So is that considered light cover or heavy cover? Because light cover lists dense vegetation, smoke, or a crowd of panicking farmers. Heavy cover is thick walls, buildings, and dense wood.
a cart. And then okay, so what's the difference? What is the bonus for either one of those? I wasn't listening.
Attacking a target in light cover will inflict a -1 penalty when making a ranged attack.
Okay, well, I'm not making a ranged attack, so light cover doesn't do shit. What about heavy armor?
Okay, attacking target in heavy cover will inflict a -1 penalty when making a ranged attack. In addition, the target will receive a +1 bonus to its armor check.
No, I don't think you get a +1 to your armor check in this instance. If you were in a building and I was charging from outside the building into the building, I think I'd give it to you. But half of your guys hiding behind a cart, I don't think would increase your armor.
Yeah. Okay, and then cover and melee actions. An enemy is dug deep into cover and can be hard to shift.
Okay.
If a unit moves to engage an enemy that is in cover, then the opponent can force it to reroll any and all of its melee checks.
Ah, there it is. Yeah, I'll give that to you.
So I can...
Yeah.
All right.
So you could force me to reroll my successful hits.
The ones I choose.
Right? Read it. What do you mean the ones you choose?
Yeah, any and all. So I can pick...
Any and all, yeah. What's the page number?
13.
Yeah. And that was just the initial clash, it says. Once the melee is over, subsequent rounds don't get that penalty.
Okay, so it's like one and done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so we got to do this simultaneous stuff, and let's actually, before we actually do this, let's look at that challenge rule. Remember, challenges? When heroes meet on the battlefield, there can be a titanic clash of arms, and lesser soldiers are advised to keep clear. Some heroes deliberately go looking for enemy leaders, calling them out to face them in single combat. Any hero involved in a close combat may issue a challenge as part of his own melee action. This may be answered by any one hero of the opposing player's choice, who is also involved in the close combat.
And you have your hero in this mob? Yeah, it is.
Patrick! Meet me in battle, you coward!
You'll never take down the Titan of Gaul!
Of course I will! I am the great Centaurian Angry Joe! You will feel my steel!
Oh, how your rivers will run blood, or red with blood!
Okay, so do you accept my challenge?
I accept!
Okay, then we will have a challenge between our heroes. If the challenge is accepted, place the two heroes in contact with another. They fight independently of any other models involved in the close combat. They cannot be harmed by any other models in the close combat and cannot make attacks against any other model except for the hero they're fighting. So here it goes.
Baby.
These two go one-on-one. So as they're fighting, Patrick is leaping towards me. That's how he got to the front. All right. So let's roll the minions first.
Okay.
So, and we'll save our cool challenge for later. So I only have 8 dice, and again you have 20 dice, right? All right. So check page 7 using the dice of fate. It's the initiative system. No, that's initiative for turns, right? Page 7 is essentially saying, first phase, most scenarios will tell you which player takes the first turn. We're already beyond the first turn. This scenario said the attacker goes first. Who has the first player phase? And each turn is decided by the gods, though. Though the dice of fate at the start of each turn, both players 1 dice re-rolling any ties. Ah. So actually, let's see. So I went first, then you went.
Yeah.
Then we should have rolled to see who went next, because that could have been you charging me instead of me charging you.
So you can like skip it to like.
It's basically other miniatures games. Always you roll a dice to see who goes first in each turn.
Yeah.
And this kind of follows that.
All right.
And some games modify the dice roll. If they're faster forces, they'll do like a +1, +2 to the roll. Let's roll just to see, who would have won that roll. I got a 6. Got a 5. So hey, it worked out like it should have.
Yeah.
So I go and I'm charging Patrick. So I charged on that left flank, which resulted in 0 Patrick deaths and 2 Angry Joe deaths. And now I'm charging on this right flank, and let's see what happens. So I'll go first, and then you go next. And, oh my God, one of the worst rolls I've ever had. So you actually don't even need to tell me to re-roll anything. If I got like 1, you'd have been like, re-roll that.
There were like 2s and 3s. All right, here we go.
All right, you count out the 5s and 6s, right?
Yeah. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jeez, man, I'm not sure how I can.
This is like the sheer numbers.
I mean, let's see. The sword has a parry ability. I don't know if that will help me in this instance. My guys have swords and they have parry, but I'm just like trying to figure out how the fuck. Can you find parry under equipment or something? You hit me with what? 4 or 5? How many? 4. Okay, so I need, let's see, and then I get 3 pluses, so I need to roll 3s and above to block it. Page 19 for parry, says Tris. 3s and above, I failed 2 of the rolls. 2 guys on the right flank are also down. God damn it.
Parry X. This weapon is well suited for knocking aside an enemy's attacks. You may force your opponent to reroll one of his melee checks for every model in the unit that has the special rule. If a number follows the term parry, this is how many melee checks an opponent may be forced to reroll. A unit with numerous weapons and or talents that grant the parry rule may use all of them in close combat. The potential rerolling several or all of its opponent's melee checks. Some equipment such as shields also allow you to parry range attacks.
All right, so then let's back it up.
Yeah.
So on this one, you got 4 successes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you re-roll those with parry.
Okay.
So my guys have swords and they're parrying your little spears
So
or whatever.
4.
Yeah.
Oof,
So
1.
this time you only made 1 successful, and then I would roll my armor 3 plus. Hey, I failed.
got
So
him.
1 guy does die, but not 2 guys on this side.
Nice.
So that seems a little more fair. Let's go over here to this side. We needed to redo the left flank because the left flank I had 2 guys die. And that again was, I think you hit me 4 times back on that one.
Yeah,
So I'm going to force you to re-roll those 4 because all of my guys have swords.
1.
And on this one, you did the same thing on that one, 1, and I will,
Oh.
God damn it, also not block it.
just 1.
So that was just Miss Scarlet.
Yeah.
Miss Scarlet's the only one that died.
That's all that
So that brave dude that jumped in the middle of him, he's alive, but
He's
Miss
in-
Scarlet went down. Okay. Because she left. She doesn't even
She
know.
deserves
She
it.
doesn't know. When she comes back, I'll raise her from the dead in a different game. All right. He hit you 5? What? You saved 3 of the 5. Ah. Thank you for your much better memory pronouncer. All right, let's have you do one more die roll.
Okay.
Because you know, you re-rolled 4 of them. I'm making you re-roll that one. So yeah, we're good. Okay. So now we do our hero clash. And zoom in on this hero clash. It is Titan McCrazy versus Centurion Angry Joe. So if you will pull up your stats, I have +2 to melee. You have +2 to melee, +1
So
Oh, no, no, no. So the card itself has you at what?
The card itself has me at +2 to melee, +0 to armor.
But you upgraded 1 melee, so you're 3 melee.
Yeah, 3
All
melee
right.
and
So you're rolling 3 dice, and then I'm +2 to melee with an upgrade of +1 to melee. So I'm at 3 melee as well. So it's 3 versus 3.
Yeah.
As far as wait a minute. Why does this have a column that says melee dice?
Oh, 2D?
Wait a minute.
Does that mean we're only supposed to roll 2 D6s?
Okay. Yes. Now we understand something different. So we're playing the game wrong. So we're gonna back it up a little bit.
Going to rolling 20 times.
No, no, no. We're somewhat right, but
Okay.
this card is telling us something different. So you see how the card says +2 to melee, and then melee dice is D2. When we looked at the Legion, what is your melee dice under your warriors?
Warriors?
Yeah,
They are 2D as well.
2D.
All of my melee dice are 2D.
So you're telling me you should have been rolling 40 dice, and I should have been rolling 20 dice, or I should have been rolling 16 dice.
Oh, it adds dice? What?
Well, it's like
All
each
right, like
soldier
2
can roll 2 dice,
two
and you
dice.
have 20 in soldiers.
Oh my God.
So you were rolling 40 dice,
Yeah.
whereas I was rolling 16 dice. But we'll just, you know, it's just a law. I mean,
Yeah.
we just did half of it. That's fine.
That seems excessive.
That seems ridiculously excessive. I'm not sure I like the game system, because the game system is using the most simplistic of the game system. Then it's bloating the number of dice being rolled. But one thing that we didn't understand, and why it doesn't seem like, wait, 6s is why it seems hard to do, is because we did that wrong as well. So look at your melee under the warriors. What does it say?
Melee is
Under warriors. Not melee dice, but melee.
melee.
Yeah, so you see this card here? There is melee and melee dice.
Yeah.
So what is your melee?
My melee is +2.
Okay, that's same to me. So actually what that's saying is we're actually hitting on 4s. You remember, because we need to hit 6s,
Yeah.
but our checks are giving us +2.
Yeah.
So we hit on 4s.
Okay.
That's how I understand it. Instead of hitting on 6s.
That seems more reasonable.
That seems way more reasonable.
Yeah. Definitely more reasonable.
Yeah, okay. So let's redo this. In this instance, let's go ahead and redo this.
Okay.
So and play the game the way it's intended to be played, because I want to see whether I like the system or not, because I have other systems that that is in this same time period.
Yeah.
So so I'm going to back up and let me roll 16 dice first, and then you'll roll 20 dice and then wait and then roll another 20 dice, because I don't think my dice cam can handle 40 dice at one time. No, don't use any green dice. They won't
No?
show up on the green screen cam.
Well, dang.
All right, here we go. 4 pluses on 16 dice. That's 4, 6, 7, 8. That was a better roll. I got 8 hits. Now, round 1, you do 20 dice,
All right.
and we'll see how many you get. And I will just remember that I got, what, 6 hits?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's a really good roll, too. All right, I got 8 hits. I don't. What was it?
That's fine. What? Because it's 4 plus, right?
I don't remember if I got 8, 6 or 8. Yeah, 4 plus.
12.
12.
Yep.
Okay. 8 hits for Joe. Thank you all for helping me. All right, so you got 12 hits.
Yeah.
Remove all, so in the future, leave the dice there so that we could do this one bit at a time.
Okay.
Because now I'm gonna, because my swords, I'm gonna make you parry 12.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So re-roll 12 dice. So I guess this kind of is simulating ching, 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 ching. Yeah, my parries were hella successful.
That was 5.
Yeah, that was a 5. So you got 3 hits.
Yeah.
3 actual wounds. But that's just round 1.
Yeah.
So
I got that.
let me do round 1 wounds roll. So you got 3 wounds on round 1. Here are my armors. 2 blocked, 1 went through. 1 guy dies, that's gonna be Scarlet. All right, now we need a full volley of 20 more dice. Ooh, so what are these? The 4s and above. Yep. All right, so remove all the shitty rolls and leave the rolls that are there. So you got 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 again? Nice. All right, so re-roll those with parry. My swords are parrying all those bitches. See, is it just as successful? Oh, this one was better.
Yeah, this is much better.
Way better. Oh shit! That was the second wave of guys come crashing in, and their swords are way more accurate because
7.
7 wounds. Let's see if I can fend off some of these wounds. So I just need 3s, and I got 2 deaths. You can only parry 8 in the second wave if you have a total of 20 guys. Each Roman can only parry once. Aha! So let's reverse again.
Yeah.
So those 12 hits, I can only force you to re-roll 8 of those. So let's
4.
go ahead and re-roll. Thank you, Tristan. God, it's so
So-
helpful to have somebody else backing us up.
Yeah.
Because, like, when I make a decision, I move forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
we
We would have been playing super wrong.
Yeah. So 8.
8.
That's 4, 5.
Yeah, 5. Plus the 4 that I couldn't make you re-roll. So you have a total of 5 plus 4. So 9 hits that I need to parry against. So let me roll 9 hits that my armor needs to hold up. Here we go. 9 wounds. Oh, fuck. 5 guys are murdered. So if we're doing this right, then that's my left flank has just been obliterated. 5 guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my units were only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you killed 5 people, there's only 2 units left.
Oh my god.
Like, I cannot. I don't understand how Legionnaires can even beat you.
Yeah.
Because
It's
I don't
sheer
really
numbers.
get a bonus. Your warriors are just as strong.
Yeah.
They just can't take hits.
Yeah.
But if you're hitting me simultaneously, what does it matter?
Yeah, it's just like, because I haven't taken any losses.
Well, maybe it's just you rolled really well and I rolled really poorly. So that left flank is fucking absolutely murdered. It's not supposed to be simultaneous. Okay, then these rules are written very, very poorly. No, that's where you're wrong. That page 7 thing. You're just talking about initiative. The dice of fate. You're talking about which player has the first phase. The player with the highest score then decides whether they will take the first player phase or whether they will force their opponent to take the first player phase. Okay? You basically get double activation stacks. No, you're not making sense, Tris. So, but just listen to what I'm saying. Is we've already determined that it was my turn, and I chose to attack him.
Yes.
Right? And so then we go under melee to figure out how do you do a melee. And that's page 12, and it says, fighting in a melee. Once a unit making a melee action moves into contact, the attack begins. To make an attack, go through these following steps. Every model in both the attacking and enemy unit makes a melee check with each melee dice it possesses. That's the 2 dice for every guy.
Right.
Every dice that scores 6 or more is successful. For every 10 models in the unit, a +1 bonus is added to all of its melee checks. So actually, we were doing that wrong. You would need a 3+. Because if you already have a 2+ base, and then you had 20 guys, that's a +3 base.
Oh, right.
Because +1 for the 20. So it would have been even worse.
Number of guys. Yeah, the bonus.
Each successful attack will deduct 1 wound from the target unit. As with all checks, a roll of 1 is always a miss. A roll of 6 is always a hit. If an enemy model's wounds are reduced to 0 or less, it's removed, either dead. It's poorly worded, I know, but it does specifically state in the Dice of Fate's 4th paragraph that combat has its own phasing. What? Based on the fate of dice. What? But this rule book is is written poorly.
Yeah,
then.
it's
using the Dice of Fate.
Weird.
Oh, you mean this little section down here? So I haven't read that section. This section here. I was just reading this section here. So, okay, so I guess let me read this section here. Rolling the Dice of Fate at the start of each turn is a big portion of the tactics you must employ in SPQR. You not only have to plan for it, you can also predict it. This is a very important thing to remember if you are to crush your enemies and see them driven before you. They're doing a Conan reference? Remember, it's not a roll to see who goes first in a turn. Oh, shit! Remember, it is not a roll to see who goes first in the turn. It is a roll to see who chooses to go first. Oh. Well, no, I understand the difference between that. Imagine you're in a battle and it is the second turn, so your units have just begun to engage the initiative. You win the initiative. Yeah, I understand that, but it doesn't ever say that combat has its own phasing. What it's saying is that once I put my guys in combat, I would, and then we do one combat. Then, when my turn is over, we do Dice of Fate. And Dice of Fate could allow me to do a double activation, basically fight twice before my opponent can even fight. But it's not changing the result that just happened over here. It's not changing the fact that I got obliterated, which was, 40 dice with some 18 attacks, and then from those 18 attacks, I was unable to block 5 of them. Yeah, you really got oofed hard. There's no denying that. Okay, so I think that... So I already understood that, Tristime, that the Dice of Fate... So what he was saying is... So, something we already knew, which was we roll at the beginning of each of our turns. First, yeah. But what that can do is I can get stuck in a fight with you. We could fight it out once, see the results. Mm-hmm. And then if I win that Die Fate, I can then activate again, right? Because I'm... So I went. So it's like my turn again.
Yeah, it's like.
So it's almost as if I did back-to-back fights.
It's like you snake the turns. Like
right. You can snake the turns if you win the die roll.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change what just happened. So it actually does. It doesn't make the Roman legionnaires any more viable or powerful. Like, they're gonna get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe I'm wrong. So let's test it on this side.
Oh, yeah, this was the heroes one,
The combat is a bit weird with the wording for how it works in the system, though. It's really not clear in the full flow. It seems clear to me. I know it's written so simplistically, And a lot of our bad habits from other games is telling us, rant, rant, rant. No. Whoever charges first gets to go first. And then once the kills are there, then the other team gets to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to look at an official Warlord Games. Time. They did a few official plays on Beasts of War, which they changed their name to something else. Go look at see a few of their battle reports and see if you can find an SPQR battle report and how combat is being played out. That's the wonderful thing about streaming is you can have your audience check. Well, they do that, you do this. So while they do that, we're going to do the way it's written in the rules on the right flank to see if somehow maybe I get lucky and I whoop your ass.
You got your hero in there. So.
I got my arrow in there, but remember, that's a separate combat because I called your ass out.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck you, you're not going to do shit against me.
And I said, fuck you,
And
we'll see.
Exactly. So here's my 16 dice on the right flank. Damn it. Not a good roll.
You got 5? All right.
Not a good roll.
Oh, I guess that's 4.
4 fucking hits from 16 dice. I'm just getting fucked. On tabletop, yeah. Check out on tabletop. See if they have a battle report. So what's great about this, though, is we've already determined that you do not have any armor, right?
Well,
but a 6 is always a success.
Yeah.
So roll 4 dice and see if you can roll 6s.
And then, does it matter what type of? Because I have a large shield and sword as well.
We're not doing the hero fight yet.
No. Well, no. I'm saying for the warriors.
No.
No. There's no.
What? Your warriors have large shields?
Yeah, equipment, large shield and sword.
Bullshit.
Eh.
Then your guys are fucking OP because they're basically legionnaires.
Yeah.
So what's the point in a legionnaire versus large shield and sword? I guess you don't have the armor. But so the fact that you have a sword means you have parry too.
Parry, yeah, right.
You can be parrying my shit. So we've been doing it wrong again because there could be even fewer hits to you. Oh, wait. There hasn't been hits to you. All right. And then, so just remember that you can use your sword.
Mm-hmm.
If you'll go into equipment and look to see what a large shield does.
Yeah.
Because I hit you 4 times. We'll see if that large shield helps with these 4 hits.
Equipment.
They have no armor right now, so that won't matter.
All right, so here we are. Oh.
And then my charge gives them -1 armor, so, I mean, again, doesn't matter.
So large shield has no plus armor. Like,
Right,
yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
But what is it? When you read the actual large shield.
Oh, okay. Many civilizations recognize the benefits of a large shield, especially when equipping large units. A large shield grants its carrier the parry 2 advanced rule, which also can be used against ranged attacks.
So parry 2 also against ranged attacks. So now you have 20 parries that now go up to 40 parries.
Because
a large unit is capable of parrying 40 times. Am I right?
And then plus a 1 bonus to every 10.
No, that's something different.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's large. Sorry, yeah.
But the +1 is, on attacks and shit.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you have potentially 40 parries. With large shields.
Sounds so ridiculous.
I don't like this system. I think the system's so bloated and overblown and too simplistic and ridiculous. But I could be wrong. So I have 4 successful hits. Obviously, you're going to use 4 of your 40 parries to force me to re-roll these.
Oh, my God.
And I got 1 hit.
Oh, man.
So 1 of your Gauls dies. Okay, let's keep it more thematic. We'll have one of these guys up front. One of those guys falls over. Okay. Now, here comes the counter attack. Let's do them in bundles of 20.
Okay. Here Here we go.
Oh my God.
Goddamn.
So if we're doing it correctly this time, you mean I think you're taking 3s.
Oh shit. Bruh.
Bro, there's no.
What?
Large units. When a unit, where was that bonus that coming from the large units? Because we need to see that again. Yeah, a +1 bonus is added to all of the melee checks. Yeah, so you have a +1 bonus, plus a +2 bonus from just them being warriors.
Yeah.
So it's a +3 bonus, bruh. Oh my.
But
God.
you have parry, right? So
I do have parry, you know, and that's gonna be my only. And checks. When performing these actions during the game, you will be called on to make a check. Roll a dice, adding or subtracting the appropriate characteristic. If the final result equals 6 or more, the check has succeeded. All right, so you have, and I have, my guys, oh shit. My guys have large shields too. So you remember when y'all handicapped me on the left side saying that 8 soldiers can only parry 8 times?
Mm-hmm.
Wrong. 8 soldiers can parry 16 times because they have large shields.
+2.
So we'll do the left flank again over on that side. But how many dice is that on the right side there?
17.
17? So one of them I cannot parry.
Out loud,
So
it
I'll
sounds
take
so
one,
ridiculous.
and I'll make you re-roll all of those 16. I didn't. I was not charged. They. I charged him.
Oh, man. All right, here we go. Oh, shit.
And I don't think. So you're saying that I would a pylum attack? I thought the pylum attack actually just the pylums do nothing in the game. All it does is it cancels
Stop
his
the
charge
charge.
bonus. So I chose not to do it. Okay, so anyways, this time you actually only got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many dice is that?
11.
11 dice, which is now actually 12 because of the one that I wasn't able to parry.
Right.
So I have 12 wounds, and that's just from the first 20. Are you just rolling really, really well? Fuck this game system. I'm never playing it again.
The sheer numbers of it, I can't
The sheer
not
numbers is
not roll
This,
well.
like, people complain that Warhammer has, like, ridiculous amounts of dice to roll.
Yeah.
This game is way worse than that. And these are small war bands.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had more than this. All right.
Oh, my God.
I need fucking 3s. That's what's good about my force is that I can block a lot.
Oh, you got a couple.
Problem is, half my force just died right there on those.
And then I can.
That's half my force that just died. Now here comes the second wave. Remember, that was only 20 dice that you rolled.
Oh, yeah.
So roll another 20.
Oh, man.
And I can't, and here's the thing. I can't parry any of these
Oh, because it's only.
because I've
8.
already used all 16 of my
Alright,
parries.
Yeah, the 16 from the 8 and 8. Oh my God. Oh, this is so ridiculous.
Yeah, me having 8 go up against 20 is like an immediate loss. But if you look here on the fucking box, look at the starter set. This is the actual starter set, and they have squads of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have two squads of 8 going up against exactly what he has.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it seems like other battle reports are doing combats as simultaneous, but they are doing only those in base-to-base contact and scrap. That makes way more sense because that's the thing that I think breaks the game is that your guys in the back that are 5 inches away are contributing to the battle, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It should only be in base-to-base contact. But nowhere in this massive rule book does it say that only base-to-base contact is what's doing it.
Base to base is just the ones
Like when you're touching.
touching.
Right. And that's the way it should be, and that would fix this
But it doesn't
brokenness. But it's not. In fact, I'll show you what it specifies on stream so that everybody can see it. Well, first let's play this out. So you rolled. Why are you rolling so well? I guess it's
I just
because
have to
you
roll
need threes. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
17.
17 hits.
Yeah.
Okay, pull them all off because I don't have the ability to parry. So I will try to armor block 17 hits. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This guy's dead, 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 this guy's dead. So I just lost 7 guys when my original squad was only 8 guys. And I only have 3 guys left in that squad. This cannot be the game system. It's completely broken. So I lose 7 guys. I only have 3 guys. So those 3 guys are dead as well. Okay.
Bodies flying everywhere.
So I honestly think that it's just base to base. Even in the book, it says every model in both the attacking and enemy unit, which is contrary to base to base. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually show the actual rules. That would be a major fuck up. Fighting in a melee action. Once a unit making a melee action moves into contact with an enemy unit, the scrap starts. To make an attack, go through these steps. Every model in both the attacking unit and enemy unit makes a melee check. And that breaks the game right there. Because it means even this cluster, it means even this cluster of what, 17 guys over here are killing these guys over here, even though they're that far away.
Telepathic swords.
Telepathic swords. Now, I thought that Warlord Games was doing it for simplicity.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
I actually love that.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, let's go. Boom. Okay, we're touching.
It's like it
but the
brings a lot
problem
of
is you have to
action.
balance the game system in order to handle that. And that's not balanced.
It definitely feels like I am very overpowered. Like they made it too simple to where it's just like
Unless they completely handicapped everybody who bought the starter set and they all fucking hate the game because they have 8 guys in each. Now, if you make this one squad of Romans where there's, 16 squad, then yeah, a Roman can definitely beat that.
yeah.
But then they're just going to be swarmed by the other 2, perhaps. And then there's really no way to outmaneuver or do anything. You're just walking into battle with, and then your one group holds my group down. I'm going to rip through them.
Right.
And then your other 2 groups finish me
Well,
off.
especially since you're attacking me, so like you're coming in and I'm just like
Yeah. So if you will show me Tristime, so the battle reports you were doing, they were doing base contact, right? So how about we hit the reverse button. I'm sorry, of course, the first game we choose is the game that's broken. We're going to hit the reverse button, and we're going to do like other battle reports we're doing, which is base only. So let's go back over here, and we'll see if it's more balanced, if it's just the base-to-base contact, instead of the way the rules wrote it, which is every single model in the unit.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like an important thing to like make sure was clear.
Right.
In the rule book, like.
Right. That's a failing of Warlord Games.
Pretty important detail.
And so I'm actually not going. If a base is that important, then it's like it's so important the way you move your guys. You know what I mean? The way you position your guys. So I am kind of handicapping you, Patrick, because you didn't know that. And obviously, you might have been able to get 1 or 2, maybe even 4 guys more involved. You know what I mean?
I mean, I was in like a kind of a bottleneck position over there, anyways. So
So let's just say that it's base. If it's, I don't know if it's base either, dude. I don't think it's base either, because it's like then you get into these arguments that I was talking about.
You're talking
It's
about
like, well,
the
my
1 inch
my
away?
sword is poking this guy, and I can't push his base close enough. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would say you have 7 guys in base contact with my 8 guys,
touching tips.
right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
I
try.
agree,
Let's
yeah.
try this particular method, and we'll see how it goes. So, with only 7 in base contact, now the die numbers are still ridiculous, but they're a
Yeah.
little more manageable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because 7 times 2, you'll roll 14 dice. My 8 times 2, I roll 16 dice.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do mine. And since my unit does not benefit from having 10 or more models, I'm 2 models short. You would never want to field a unit of 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless your enemy has like 3 units of archers, right? Because
They can range.
they'll range you.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm looking for 4s. And I got that many hits. Now, Patrick is going to say re-roll. In large shields give you 2 parries each. You had 7 guys
So
in
14.
contact, so the most parries you can make is 14, which definitely covers these 8.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got 3.
wow.
3 hits.
3 wounds.
Yeah.
Okay. You go ahead with your rolls.
I
Oh, yeah. And so now go ahead and choose 3 of the guys that were in base-to-base contact. Cool.
All right. Am I 14 now?
This is SPQR that we're trying to learn.
We're still at a
Ooh,
3.
that's very good.
Still a 3 plus, right?
Yeah, so you only failed 2. So of how many dice did you roll?
14.
Yeah, so you got 12 out of 14. So
you had 8?
each one of my guys, 8 times 2, I can make you parry 16 times. So parry all those dice. Ooh, it's Tris time. Man, you're amazing, dude. Let me give us 1 second. Let's finish this process first.
Yeah, Trish always coming through with the rules,
Coming
man.
through with some rule stuff.
Yeah, bro. We appreciate you.
That was a worse second roll, so thank God for that. But you still got a healthy amount here.
8.
8. All right, now it would go to my badass chainmail armor that you don't have, so I roll 8 dice. This is already feeling a little bit more balanced. Yep.
Ooh.
So
yeah.
I got all of them blocked except for 2. So 2 of my 8 guys die. That does seem balanced. So obviously, cat girl, and then this guy over here on the end dies. So that was way better.
More
and
reasonable.
now,
way reasonable.
right? And now we would do the, let's just say the rest of the turn happens, right? And then we would do the Die of Fate, and whoever wins that wins the all-important second activation to see who gets to. Wait a minute. Yeah, to see who gets to activate first. Why does it matter? Well, because you could choose the melee, and when you choose the melee, in the rules it says move and then melee. So that could get you more guys in the fight. You know what I mean? Because I was about to say, well, then it doesn't really matter because we would just roll. We're both simultaneously rolling, and you can't leave combat.
Yeah.
But it does say that you, when
Or if
in
I
the
have
melee rules,
the-
it says you can move and then melee.
What was it called? The cut and run or the hit and run. If I had hit and run, I could
Yeah,
I could use
No,
that
because
too.
hit and run is only is making is you're never actually contacting me because I'm leaving before you do. Because once we do, you cannot run.
Okay.
Unless you want me to hit you a bunch of times before you leave.
Okay.
Anyways, okay, so Tristime found yet another fold here. He says in page, let's go to page 108, you and me. Or 107, rather.
07.
And it's a special rule under the Gaul infantry minions section that says in the Gaul infantry minion section, there's one part that references in contact with an enemy model. So let's look. Where is that? Skyclass?
Is it the wild charge?
Wild charge. The initial charge of the warriors is wild, chaotic, and crazy enough to break all but the most disciplined of enemies. A unit of warriors that charges gains a bonus melee dice for each model in the unit. So that's why I wanted to charge you first.
Yeah.
Because if you charged me first, you're
I
getting
get the
3
plus.
melee dice instead of 2.
Yeah. So I get.
So the wild charge is, and Romans don't have that. So, because that's wild compared, that's a you, and those are your warriors. Your tribesmen can't do that.
Yeah.
A unit of warriors that charges gains a bonus melee dice for each model in the unit, regardless of whether they get into contact with an enemy model. So the fact that it admits that there's a distinction
Yeah.
between being in contact and not being in contact, then needs to make sure that the rest of the rule book has that worked out.
You're
And it
supposed
doesn't.
to assume that.
Yeah.
Like what the like.
A unit warrior that charges gains a bonus melee die for each model in the unit. So let's say that when you charge, you only get 7 guys in contact with me. So you get 7 times 2 because that's their normal thing. That's 14 dice. And then let's say you had 5 more guys that were not in contact. They give 5 more bonus dice.
Yeah.
And that's just because it's a wild charge.
Wild charge. Yeah. If I'm attacking.
Yeah. So to me, the fact that it says that, it then specifies that, yeah, if you didn't have the wild charge, you would only get the 7 times 2.
I feel
You
like
wouldn't
it's so
get the rest
bizarre
of it.
They like in the movement they don't.
It's
explain
just
that.
Yeah, you're right, Patrick. It's just the most essential part of the game.
Like, why wouldn't you explain it?
The most essential part when you lay out exactly how to fight, they fucked up on this bullet point. Every model in both attacking unit and the enemy unit makes a melee check. It also needs another sentence here only if they're in base-to-base contact or, let's say, 1 inch of each other if you want to do that shit.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's somewhere else that we're not looking. Maybe we can find that somewhere else.
I mean, it should just be.
I'm going to look for it somewhere else. Actually, Tristan, can you look for it somewhere else? How do you have a PDF of this? Is it free? I'll keep looking once you play. All right, so this does feel more fair, and in this case, actually, I'm enjoying the. I think the game could be way more enjoyable. So we're gonna stand all these guys up again, and we're gonna redo this the right flank combat, and we're gonna erase from our minds.
Yes, Jimmy.
We're gonna erase from our minds everything that happened, because it leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. But to be perfectly honest, the game is broken as written in the rules. And this is why you have to have multiple people look at your rule book, and you have to watch as people do this. Because now when I charged, I had enough movement to move up and get stuck in. This rulebook feels like a first draft. I think it is, and they kind of like rushed it out. So
A lot of Oktoberfest is coming out. It's gonna be after Oktoberfest is gonna be the stouts, the heavies. So watch out for those if you're into it.
Sam Adams.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Like the Oktoberfest, like they're and then like once you get into like winter time, you get like start getting like stouts and like the darker beers start coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They have one called the Pumpkinator, which is like a pumpkin spice beer. It actually tastes like a slice of pumpkin pie. It's by St. Arnold's. It's really good if you're into that, Jimmy.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. So let's go ahead and do this
Same, bro.
procedure.
Let's see
So from what I understand, all of my guys can attack, and only 1, 2. If we're doing this right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's call it 6. So now, the fact that we have to do this, we have to be gentlemen. And if this is like at a store where you're playing against that funkin', piece of shit kid that's like, no, I
Yeah.
want to win at everything.
Yeah.
This is gonna get crazy, right? So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say 6. The kid at the store would say, yeah, but 7, because this guy right here, he may not be in base contact, but his sword is touching this guy.
And the rule book doesn't specify, so you're
1,
just
2,
like
3, 4, 5. Right. As far
so
as we
you-
can tell,
it's just like
6.
word for word, like yeah.
So let's just say 6. So you have 6, and I have everyone. So you're rolling 12 dice while I'm rolling 16 dice.
12 days. If you like the winter Samuel Adams, the Shiner Cheer is pretty good too during the holiday season. So 6 dice. Sorry, you're talking about beer.
No, we're good.
Sorry,
All right,
6
here we
dice.
go. Here's the battle. My guys first, and then we'll do yours. So I need 4s because I don't have that unit bonus. And you also have parries. So we said how many guys? See, that's shitty having to remember these numbers. 6 guys. We said 6
Yeah.
guys.
I
So
hold-
6 times 2. You can
12.
parry up to 12. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So you'll
Yeah.
parry all 9 of my hits. So I only have 5 actual hits.
That's still pretty good.
5 wounds, and you have no armor, so it's very good.
Yeah.
All 5 of those 6 guys are dead. So now, but don't do it now. Let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
go ahead and have you do your counter attack,
6.
which with 6 guys, that's
12.
12 dice. And I definitely have enough parries to make you parry all of your dice.
Oh yeah. Huh. Oh yeah.
40K is with 2. See, 40K makes it easy because they say within 2 inches of bases for melee. I think it's 1 inch, or maybe 2 inches.
That wasn't that great. I guess that was okay. So was that 2, 4, 6, 8, 9?
Yeah, you got 9, so re-roll all those. Parry.
Per.
Oh, that's a better second roll. So 5 hits.
Yeah.
So I gave you 5, you gave me 5. Thing is, you have no armor,
You have
and I have armor. Oh, but you do have armor. You have 6 pluses. So try to.
Oh, the dang shields, huh?
No. Remember, 6s
Oh,
are
the
always
swords.
successes.
Yeah. Well, and
So your armor is a 6. You're making an armor check
Oh, right,
at a
right.
+0.
Yeah, okay.
So roll 6s.
So just 6, right?
Yeah. No. So 5 of your guys are dead, and none of my guys are dead. And that's that chainmail armor. So that does seem way better.
Dang.
I mean, I didn't get obliterated, and it's not better for Patrick, but Patrick's not too concerned right now because he's got plenty more guys there in the back. And so because we're now doing this base-to-base contact stuff, it actually is important that you pull your models out of there. Page 12, ongoing close combat. Once a model is in contact with an enemy, it may not move out of contact with that enemy until one side is killed or one side chooses to flee. Yeah, we already know that. So it's a second place that references model contact. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're just telling us. Yeah, I agree. And then what also helps the case here, there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Right?
Yeah.
6, yeah. This shield guy is about to lose his shield.
Oh no.
So I'll glue his shield on.
Yeah, it is very vague. It's
Super vague. But if you look in the melee action, I think it says that you can move your guys and then fight. And so if you're already in sort of a melee with a unit, that then means you can move more of your units into the units. But what that's going to do is create a nightmare on the battlefield of, well, the second you lifted that guy up, it knocked one of your guys back, and now he's out of my range when I wanted to charge. But I guess you're just going to have to play this game where, you don't act like that. Okay, so that was just the that was my forces on yours and on that unit, and now we're gonna finally go to the hero battle.
yeah.
So,
Boss music.
hero battle. So now that we understand how to do anything, your melee was 2D and my melee was 2D.
Yep.
So you're rolling 2 dice and I'm rolling 2 dice, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Check all your other stuff, right? Just in
'Cause
case.
Melee's plus
You have
2.
a great axe. What does the great axe do?
Great
in
axe is just
the equipment?
lethal 2.
Mhm.
It's a smasher, 2-handed. That's all it's specified.
So you actually cannot parry with a great axe.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay. So all right, my 2 dice versus your 2 dice, and my melee is a +3, and your melee is a +3.
Right.
All right, so that means 3s and above for
We
our
added
rolls.
the,
Yeah. Here we go. Angry Joe versus McCrae.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh! Oh,
We
shit.
basically just banged heads.
Oh, man. Shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's cool. Damn.
Okay, so our combat will be ongoing. Obviously, I'm not going to say parry those two because
Yeah.
then that would give you what you need to win there. So yeah, that's fun. I like how I do like that rule, that unique thing in this game where it feels very Troy. Remember the movie Troy?
Yeah.
Where it's like Achilles is like, yeah,
Yeah,
he
and then
fights
the
in
2
time
guys,
on
yeah,
me.
and then they're like, the 2 main guys get,
All right. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's play out the rest of the game like so. Now is the all-important Dice of Fate.
Fates.
Whoever wins this can potentially get more models and an advantage in positioning. Here we go.
Ah.
Not good. Ooh, barely won.
It's enough, though.
So obviously I'm going to, but then to me, that means that die fate roll is too important in my opinion. You know what I mean? There's other game systems where whoever gets first turn is less important, and I like those. Like
But this could be literally like the game.
that's the game.
Yeah.
I think.
'Cause
Because
then, yeah.
2 consecutive turns of me doing that, you would, on your 3rd turn, you would have to do really well in rolling to then overcome the fact that
You're just getting reinforcements.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, my Romans just doubled
Yeah.
effectively, right?
Like, yeah, improving your...
Necromunda has something similar, but you alternate activations. I activate it, then you do, rather than full turns. I agree. I like those systems better. And there's a game called Warcry that I have that I was like, well, let's play this first. I activate everything, and then you activate everything. That's old school. That's like 20, 30 years ago. You know what I mean? I like the games that are back and forth because it's not like people would just sit there on the battlefield and wait around. Oh, my friend is getting slaughtered. I didn't know about it until an hour later, even though it's a foot from me.
Yeah.
So, and back and forth keeps players engaged too, right? There's less downtime.
Yeah, more exciting.
Yeah. So while I think the system is vastly improved if we play like this, I think there might be better systems. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's
It's not quite
create a
as
separate
ridiculous.
dead pile, and then you killed 2 of my guys, and over here I killed I think
3?
three, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Three is correct.
Okay, so we have a separate dead pile now.
Graveyard.
All right, well, I just won the die of fate, so then obviously I'm going to go over here on the left flank, and I am going to basically move as best as I can, right, to get into as much contact as I can. But I also have to, like, not get into as much contact as I can. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, because
I don't want to. I don't want to improve your numbers while improving my numbers. I don't want to improve your numbers, and so that creates a small little mini game. And I'm wondering if that's intended, and we will never know because the rules are so poorly written that it's actually the other way.
Use your imagination.
Yeah.
Build your own game.
So, that's true. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna say you have 8 while I have 8. So 16 versus 16. Let's go.
By the way, the great axe Pat has can't be parried.
Oh, that
that's
makes
a-
sense
yeah.
because it's a fucking
Big,
big ass thing. Because of his smasher on his hero. Okay.
Smash.
All right, I'll go first.
16.
You and so I got 6 hits. You can ask me to parry those.
6, yes, please. Smash.
Turns into only 2 hits.
See, that's way more reasonable.
Yeah.
Way more reasonable. And you get to roll for armor,
Mhm.
right?
Well, I'm against you right
Oh,
now.
yeah,
So
okay, yeah,
you don't.
yeah.
You do get to
not-
roll. Yes, you get to roll for armor. You
Yeah.
need to roll 2 dice. Your armor's shitty.
Got him. Oh.
Hey, look!
There it is.
One guy. The pieces look so good and bored. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it looks amazing. Like, I invested a lot though. So, if you want to, call it out as being beautiful, it makes me feel much better.
Makes me feel beautiful
It
inside.
makes me feel beautiful inside. All right, so you only lost 1 guy. So remove 1 guy. And we'll say it's your choice again, something the rules don't cover, right? Because that's important.
Yeah, for positioning.
Gets and the rules just doesn't cover that.
And then now I'm rolling 16.
Yes,
Okay.
because it was simultaneous combat. So I am going to really send a very angry email to Warlord Games, because and then I'm going to show them this stream too, because it's like, bro, what happened here? I want an answer.
You angered Angry Joe.
You angered because I spent a lot of money.
Not even my final form. Ah, damn it.
That's a good roll.
That's pretty good. This one too. Oh yeah, that was really good.
Yep.
It was 14.
14. Well, I have 8 guys, 8 times 2 because of large shields. I can parry up to 16 times. Or no, I have. Wait, did the shields allow parrying? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So that is, parry all those. It is more exciting than Rings of Power. Rings of Power sucks. Actually, I kind of look forward to Rings of Power every week just to shit on it.
I haven't even wasted my time with it. It was
Yeah,
like,
don't waste your time. There's many, many hours that you'll never get back.
Ooh, Lord.
When Mountain Doom explodes and kills no one. Yep. Uh-oh. That's a
11.
lot of... Okay.
Ooh, Lord.
Was not able to parry those very well. So 8, 9, 10,
Still got
11.
your armor, though.
So now I'm enjoying it again. It feels fair.
Yeah.
So because if I fuck up all these, now the what do you call it? The needle is moving back towards
Yeah.
you. So I just lost 1, 2, 3, 4 guys.
Get your Chad
And
Mountain Doom.
yeah, that
I don't know
hurts.
if they just use the Eagles to fly to Mountain Doom.
This feels way, way better. So if I lose 4 guys, I'm gonna lose this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. And basically the same thing just happened, right?
It's still
The
the
numbers game is
yeah,
still winning.
yeah.
Was this guy dead? Because I only killed
Yeah,
one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're supposed to be weaker, but they're not that much weaker.
Yeah.
And like the different
Yeah.
like.
But this could just be, bad rolling or something.
Yeah.
Or it's also the idea of 8 guys going against 20.
Yeah.
This should happen.
Yeah.
It's just the starter set is gimping the Romans. They'll hate the fucking game. Because obviously, if I'm a Roman legionnaire, I am not creating 8-man squads.
Yeah.
Because I don't get anything for 8-man squads, and you don't have any archers, so I'm
Yeah.
not getting any negatives increasing my squad size. I'm trying to hit on motherfucking 4s while you're hitting on 3s.
Yeah.
That is a huge advantage.
There definitely should be more. Your guy should definitely be more powerful. There should be more.
No, I think the
a
power is
different-
fine with the
yeah.
armor because my survivability is great if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm rolling 3 pluses.
You think maybe
and
mine
you're
sh-
rolling 6s.
Yeah.
The problem is, what do you think happens when 300 Spartans? Okay, that's a bad example because 300 Spartans did hold their own.
Yeah.
But what do you think happens when 300 farmers fight 80,000 farmers? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then the numbers game will win, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's just
And
then
if you
I'll-
shield wall, you get 4 parries per guy. I don't really need more parries, to be honest.
When you only have to roll a 3.
Yeah. So all I would really need is to add 3 more guys to each one of my 8-man squads to get it
The bonus.
11 guys to get the +1 bonus, right? So that I'm hitting on 3s instead of hitting on 4s.
Yeah.
And obviously that would happen naturally as you're building your war band
Through
because
the
you're not going to
campaign.
gimp yourself when you
Yeah.
build your own war band. But what I'm saying is the starter set
You just
will
can't.
piss people off.
Yeah. You're handicapped.
They'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
You know.
There's literally not enough.
But the
units.
game system, I like, but I don't like because we had to, fix it ourselves.
we had to rewind
With the way it was
like
written.
3 times.
All right. So anyway, let's continue this. So I'm losing on that side, and let's do this side again. And so it's okay. So I'm gonna take that move action, and if you will look at I'm gonna take the melee action. So go and do the melee action, so that we know. Melee action. So then we get help too. See, as you notice, my guys are kind of away from your guys after we slaughtered a bunch of you. So it says, fighting in a melee action. A unit using a melee action, when performing... Let's do it. When performing a melee action, a unit moves in... When performing a melee action, a unit moves into contact with 1 or more enemy units. If it is unable to do so, if its move score is not high enough, then it becomes an ordinary move. Okay. A unit using a melee action must try to get as many of its models as possible into contact with the enemy unit. And those that cannot get into contact with an enemy unit must try to get as close as possible. When moving as a melee action, the unit obeys all rules.
So I'm just moving up.
So what that... No, that's me. When a unit making a melee action moves into contact with an enemy unit, the scrap starts. So what I'm just trying to, show the procedure of it is that here I get moves, and my move is essentially as high as 5, right? So I can start to come around like this, right?
Do a little flank.
Because right now I can't get very many dead. So then this one here, and then we'll come
Into the middle.
over here, and then over here. But see, then when you do things like this, it gets messy because it's like, you're
touching
knocking
who?
over models and
Yeah. It's like,
you're changing the course of the battle by just simple operation.
yeah.
Okay, so now we have to go and look at how many people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this my guy or your guy?
I
That's
believe
your
that's
guy,
my
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mine.
So, fuck. Is this your guy?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I want to say yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I feel like your
Let's
guys
say
all have
8.
gold helmets, pretty
8 on. Yeah, but your guy has a gold helmet here.
much. Oh, shit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 on 8.
Nice.
So just like before, 16 on 16 dice. All right, I'll roll mine first. And see, I'm going for 4s while you're going for 3s. You can do as many parries as me. We both have large shields, so I'll re-roll all these with your parries. And again, I'm looking for 4s while you're looking for 3s. That's such a big gimp. So I only had 3 hits,
All right, do my rolls.
which is not very Roman. Yeah, it's almost like I'm, little goblins and you're like armored human warriors.
You should be the one tanked up.
Well, maybe it does actually represent, because the ferocity of the barbarians, I would say they're better at, combat. And I would say the Romans are more survivable. And that's what it currently is, because my armor's way better
So
and
13.
his fighting is slightly better. So I guess it's fine.
We got 13 and reroll
Yeah.
13.
I just wouldn't show up with 8-man squads. So yeah, you have 13 hits. Yeah, re-roll them all, parrying them all. Right, it forces me to move as many models as possible, which is, again, it's like, what does that mean? I am in contact, so I don't need to move those in the back because they are in contact. They're in contact with one, you know what I mean? So I can break the rules by saying, it's like, move as many models into contact as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just going to take my 8 guys and surround your 1 guy.
Just cage him.
It's as many
So
models
it's
as
8 on
possible in the
1?
combat. Yeah, but it obviously doesn't work like that because then the backs are exposed of some of the guys, so then it does work out to like 8
You're
versus
touching other
4,
people.
8 versus 6. All right, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 hits. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 armor rolls. 3s and above. Ooh, no!
Holy two.
Again, those.
Dang.
The fact that it's 4 deaths. The fact that I'm not rolling well, and plus my units are not big. That means 1, 2, 3, 4. So half my unit obliterated there. Now, something that's important to do. Okay, well let's also
The
do
heroes?
let's do the heroes.
Nice.
So last time we remembered it was only 2 dice. All right, here we go. Oh, that's
That's
you got
all
2
right.
hits this time.
Yeah, we'll see. What you got?
I got 2 hits as well because it's 3s and above on our heroes.
Yeah.
So my 2 hits versus your 2 hits. I would say parry that. You say no because I have a great axe, so it's going through the parries. So now it goes what? Straight to our armor, right?
Okay.
Now we do armor rolls. I have chainmail, so that's 3 plus armor. You have chainmail, 3 plus armor. Both block. Both
Damn,
blocked.
96 baby.
Ridiculous. These
It's
two
like
are just
going
gonna
hit
stay-
for hit, man.
Okay, interesting.
Battling it out, baby.
The problem is, as those guys battle it up, my troops are losing the battle because we just don't have enough forces. And remember, you have a whole additional unit of archers, which,
Just
we're going to see exactly what it means. Like, can he fire into close combat? So
yeah.
now it's your turn. That was actually my turn, but it felt like it was your turn,
Yeah.
right? Because you're getting to simultaneous attack.
Fight as well, yeah. So if I want to fight with these guys,
Yeah.
I need to look at the.
If there's rules that allow them to fire into your own forces.
It's 25 is ranged weapons.
Well, you probably need to be reading the shooting actions on page 10. Line of sight. Model in a unit must be able to see its target or at least part of it in order to shoot at it. This means you have to bend down to the table for a unit's eye view. So as long as you can see at least part of the target's body. Models within a unit do not block line of sight to other models in the same unit. Okay, check it out. It's the third paragraph up from shooting actions. A unit may not choose to perform a shoot action if an enemy unit is in close combat with it. Page 12. So a unit with no range score may never perform a shoot action. So yeah, you cannot shoot. So those archers are just sitting there like, well, fuck. I guess
like,
I'm just going to root for you guys to win. Okay, so now, but you can take melee actions. And here's where it's going to hurt. I only have 2 guys left on that side, right?
Yeah.
And so when you take a melee action, because your guys move, what, 6?
6, yeah.
They literally can just surround them.
Swarm
So
around.
put as much, so this guy comes around, this guy comes around, that guy comes around, and we're trying to fit as many as possible. And you see how I just don't like
And they
that
start
because it's
moving
like
around.
right.
Yeah.
So and then these guys come. So if we look at it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 versus 2. And if you're gonna do the game like this, you might as well put it on a hex grid so that you
can have like
you know
Yes.
for sure that you're doing things right.
accurate movement.
Accurate stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what was it again? 9 versus 2?
Yeah.
Based on that. So
18.
you have 18 and I have 4. Again, my rolls are shitty, so I got 2. You're going to parry them, and I got 1 kill. Just roll 1 dice to see if you roll a 6. Are you kidding me, Patrick?
Yeah, boy.
McCrae's
Love it.
Warband is
Yeah.
saying, get the fuck out of here.
Fucking
No
damn,
damage.
bro. Oh, man. But you can't.
Somebody quickly grabs that guy and
Get
heals
him
him
out,
or gets him
fucking
out
in
of
the
there
crowd.
before the Roman can kill him.
All right, now it's the.
Oh, yeah, we should also take a panic test. Remember the will to fight test. So,
Oh, so
because I
the
went to less
scatter.
than half strength, so
Oh.
both my squads are doing will to fight. I
You're
think the
supposed
game's
to do half and quarter.
right, and I think the game's over right now because I'm not sure I'm going to pass those. So let's do the will to fight check.
Page 20.
So on the left flank, will to fight. Even the most battle-hardened warriors knows when it's time to run away. Okay, so I got to do a check, and remember the check is hit 6s. Do I have any pluses to my bravery? Yes, I have 2 to my bravery. So that means I have to hit 4s. Okay. So 2 guys. I guess 2 guys. 4s.
That's good. It's clutch.
So they fight to the last moment.
There you go.
But you remember the rules also said there's a moment where you realize that you can. It says voluntary retreat. A player may choose to voluntarily retreat his force. He may do this because it is clear he's not going to be able to defeat his enemy and he wishes to save his force from more pain. A player may choose to voluntarily fail any will to fight check, immediately removing every model in the unit. However, he may only choose to fail a will to fight check when a unit is required to make one, not before. So, yeah, I don't think these 2 are going to survive, so I would pull them out to live another day, but that doesn't really, does that count? In a campaign, maybe it counts. Let's just say we are playing a campaign, so I'm going to voluntarily retreat, which means those guys are removed. So that happened before you surrounded me.
Okay.
You remember? Yeah, because that was the will to fight check.
That was before.
That
the
was
actual
before you
melee.
actually actioned.
Okay.
And then here, I might have a chance to still win it. It's like what? 4 versus. What do you think that is? 4 versus like fucking 12.
So I was about to say like 10 or 12 probably. It's hard. It's really hard to kind of differentiate the besides the gold helmet, but then like some.
But clearly 4 versus 12 or something. But clearly, even if I can get past that, then I got to deal with the archers. Then I got to deal with the second force over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and voluntarily retreat as well. But I just want to see if
where do they go when they voluntarily retreat?
They leave. They leave the force. It just says remove them. So meaning I lose. Because I'm basically choosing to lose the battle to keep them for the campaign. Is what I'm
okay, that's the advantage to it. Okay,
yeah.
I was wondering
So I succeed with 2 of them, and 2 of them run, or 2 of them fail. So and remember it said you lose by the number you failed. So 2 guys would run away. But I'm going to go ahead and just voluntarily retreat. So I lose those 4. But check this out. I am not voluntarily retreating with my guy that's in battle with your guy.
Yeah, hero. Well, they can't break out, can they?
They can't break out. I mean, they can, but like I would take a free attack from you. Yeah. And I don't want to take a free attack from you.
To the death.
So, to the death. Let's go. So, it's your turn. So what you're doing is you're now saying melee.
Melee.
Okay, so then that's my 2 dice versus your 2 dice. 1 hit. 1 hit.
1 hit.
Okay, and then 3 plus armor. I failed my armor.
Oh.
You got your armor. So I lost 1 wound. Now the thing is, I put my bonus to my wound. You put your bonus to armor, right?
Yep.
So you have plus 3 armor from your chainmail, and then another armor from your stat boost, right?
4. Yeah.
So you have 2 plus armor.
I have, I have 3 because I had 0 armor to begin with, and then I put 1 into armor, 1 into melee, and then I have the chainmail, which is plus 3 to armor.
Right. So plus 3 to armor, plus the 1 stat boost that you did. Isn't that plus 4?
Yeah.
So the only way you lose armor is on a 1 or a 2. All right. Well, I just lost a wound. Well, so that means why? Being able to create your own character, you would just dump it all into armor.
Yeah.
Because your die rolls would have to be 1.
Yeah. And you would never.
And
get wounded.
you would never roll a 1, and you'll never get wounded. So
yeah,
I don't know about that.
That's like super low probability.
Yeah, but I think it's balanced in the sense that you never get the plus 1 or plus 2 ever again. The only thing that levels up are the talents.
Okay.
So if you want to go plus 2 and stick it into armor, that's all you're getting.
Yeah.
And so you could, and 1s always fail. So yes, you could get a 2 plus armor, but that's like, that's all you're getting.
Yeah. It can only be pushed so far.
Okay, well, so now I fight you. Oh, wait, no, I already did fight you. But let's just fight to the death. So now it's the die of fate. So the die of fate, I rolled a 4 to see who goes first. Oh, this time you take it first. But it doesn't really matter because we're not working for positioning.
Yeah, we're just kind of
going
going
head to head. 2 dice. And, of course, I fucked mine.
Oh.
You got yours, 1 hit on me, and armor save. So now, yeah. Well, no, I didn't hit you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I just rolled 2 2s. So for this turn, don't forget Axe has lethal 2. What is the lethal 2 again?
Is that in?
So because it's your turn, then now all the rest of these guys would surround me, but we're in a challenge, so it's a penalty to my armor.
There you go, Trish. Thank you. Patience. Smasher's weapon cannot be parried by any means.
On armor checks, I don't see. I need lethal. I need a ruling on lethal. Where's lethal? Patrick,
Lethal,
where's
Lethal X, page 19. This weapon is truly terrible. The lethal score is used as a penalty to an opponent's armor checks and is also the number of wounds removed from a unit upon successful strikes. However, a lethal weapon cannot remove more than
All
one
right, well
model.
then I'm screwed because like not only is my armor now a, so you always want to bring lethal weapons because then that negates the whole 2+
Parry,
bullshit that
yeah.
people are gonna try to do.
Yeah.
So then my armor goes up to I think a 5+ to try to roll. So I am definitely going to announce a retreat. So you get 1 free attack against me. So because you wounded me once already, Patrick, I only have 2 wounds left.
Yeah.
So technically, you could kill me on this blow before
I'm
I get
rolling
out of
2
here.
dice?
Yep, 2 dice. If you hit with both,
Oh,
you
only
just hit with 1.
Dang.
And then I'm going to, I can't parry that 3. So now I'm rolling for my 5+ armor because of the lethal 2. I got it.
Nice.
So I still only have 2 wounds, and then I'm going to retreat. But in this game, you know, Patrick gets massive points for making me retreat.
Oh, right, because it's like the XP for winning.
The XP for winning, the XP
yeah,
for all
yeah,
this. And so now I am taking off. And the battle's over. So now let me read the post-battle campaign. What happens when you're playing this game in campaign? Well, calculate victories and update rosters. Once a game has been played, players should determine who won the scenario, that's Patrick, and check to see if the campaign goals have been reached. We determined that 3 wins would win the campaign. So you have 1 of 3 wins. After that, Warband roster should be updated with any deaths and injuries and with experience points. Models that left the table due to failed will checks are immediately returned to the Warband, so that's why it matters. So essentially, these 5 guys that I voluntarily retreated, or wait, 4, 5, 6 guys, and my my particular guy is now I can use that. And so what that means for you is, you know, you'll have to spend less money to replace your losses than me.
Which can be used for like weapons.
Yeah. Winner of a fight can earn 30% of the value of the warband he fought, while the loser will earn 25% of the value of the winning warband. So that's not really
That's not a great.
That's not a great. I would do it like winner earns 30%, loser earns 10%.
Yeah,
that seems fair.
It's not a real-
No warband can earn more than 300 denarii. So what is chat 30% of 500?
Oh wow, they capped the denarii you can earn.
Yeah. So what is 30% of 500? Do the math. I don't have my calculator on me. 150.
Nice.
So Pat earns 150 coins. Pat, and then let's do the 25% of 500. What's 25% of 500?
Truce.
Well, if you just say 25 times 5, that's 25. 125. So I get 125 coins, you get 150 coins. I get what they're doing there. They don't want things to get out of control,
Out of hand,
you know. But let's say it is 10%. So mine is, because you don't want to punish the loser too much, because then he'll never be able to get back into the game.
Yeah, and then
So
it'll
you
just
get
be
and
unfair.
if we were to do 10% of 500 is what?
50, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the difference between giving me 125 or 50 coins.
Yeah, sorry.
And 50 coins is only 2 soldiers that I can buy. And 125 is 5 soldiers. So, yeah, that seems a little easier. So I guess that's why they don't gimp them like that. That done.
Never be able to recover.
Yeah, no war man can earn more than 300 denarii in a single fight. These denarii may be spent within your warband list immediately, adding new models and upgrading existing ones. That done, go back to the first step and start arranging games again until you find a winner of the entire campaign. Injuries. In the normal course of games, when a model is reduced to 0 wounds, it is removed from the table and a casualty. However, a shot or a bow that takes a model out of a fight does not necessarily mean the model's dead. It may have suffered a serious or debilitating injury, or may have just received a scratch that kept his head down during the rest of the fight. Coward. When a hero is reduced to 0 wounds, roll 2 dice and consult the table below to see if he has some kind of injury. Scratch, injured, crippled, dead. So those are the results. And then injury table. Leg wound, arm wound, head wound on death's door. Injured minions. Injured minions do not roll in the injury table. Instead, roll 1 dice for each minion that has become a casualty. On a 4 or more, they are returned to the warband with no ill effects. So that lessens the cost of losing all these guys. On a 3 or less, they are dead and they have run far, far away. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is my alive warband, and here is my dead warband. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to roll 10 dice. Four or more, they're returned to the warband. So I got 1, 2, 3. 3 permanent losses. So I get all these guys back, and those guys are dead for good. So these guys back, and because the game gives me 125 coins, that's enough for 5 guys. So then I would immediately buy these 3 guys
And then you'd have
for 75, and then I'd have basically 75 left to spend on upgrades. So I'm back to full strength. So, okay, I see how they're doing it. And then you are already practically at full strength, so then you get to just upgrade your guys with badass stuff, and then that keeps it somewhat balanced. Okay, next is the experience for leveling up your heroes, which is on page the heroes. So +1 for surviving the battle without failing a will to fight check. So technically, I needed to do a will to fight check when my force went below 50%. So here's that. Or when my force went below 25%. So I succeeded that. So I get +1 experience for that. You get +1 experience for yours because you've never had to take that. And then +1 for every enemy unit destroyed or driven off. You destroyed... you were within a unit that destroyed 1 unit. You were within the unit on the right flank, so you get +1. And you're still counted to be a part of that unit, even though you accepted a challenge, I believe. And then +1 experience for every level of enemy hero slain in the challenge. So you didn't actually kill me.
because you retreated.
Because I retreated, but I need to see, are heroes allowed to retreat? But right now you earned 2 experience, and I earned 1 experience. That seems fair. Voluntary retreat. Player may choose to voluntarily retreat as force. You may do those because it clears he's not going to be able to defeat his enemy. Player may choose to voluntarily fail any will check. Yeah, I can. It's just if I'm dumb enough to be like, no, I'm not retreating. I want to die. And then you would get +1 experience. You would have got 3 experience instead of 2.
So
But
like,
you would never want to do that.
you just have to
Or
count your losses. And
or
get
you
out.
just have to hit that shocking, 3 dice hit and where you kill me instantly, and you're like, I got you.
on the way
Before
out.
you were able to, Alrighty, well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is SPQR. So we unfortunately ran into some issues with this rule book, the way it's written.
Yeah.
I will have to look up to see if there's an FAQ that covers that, but
It was fun playing tabletop.
It
though.
really was fun playing
Chat
tabletop.
was saying that they're glad to see more tabletop and stream,
Yeah.
and we have a great
we have a great setup. And what did you like playing tabletop with me?
Yeah. It's
I like playing tabletop with you too, Patrick, and I hope we can do this again. I apologize for the game system not working out.
it's
I
fun
have
to try different
Yeah,
different
so the other
games.
systems I have in this time period is Saga, which I hear Saga is very good. I also have Mortal Gods, which is another one. I hear that's very good. But so after we fixed it,
Yeah.
I like the game more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, definitely. It was like
way
way
too-
overblown
yeah.
within the beginning. It was just ridiculous.
And I would be willing to play it again, but I think the forces that the starter set gave us are not balanced against each other, or
Yeah.
not fun out of the box.
Yeah, you definitely feel like you
So I
need more
feel like
units or like
you need more
yeah.
units on the Roman side, and you need more, well, that's impossible because the Romans are very expensive. Actually, now that I think about it, I
Okay.
can't fit.
You
You did 500 denarii, and I did 500 denarii. So
oh, yeah,
that is
was the
how it
max.
works.
Yeah.
That is literally how it
Yeah.
works. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know about balance. The Romans are silly expensive. Maybe this game is way more fun if we do Athens versus Sparta, which I do have an Athens
yeah.
army and I do have a Sparta army, and we can see how that works in the future. But I probably wouldn't play SPQR again with the starter armies out of the box. And unfortunately, that's a bit
That's
of a
how, yeah, that's what-
bad.
Where most people, that's what most people get. So.
Yeah, that's bad. So, since this is a new little stream, a new show, we don't really have a rating system or anything on the games. But so we'll just, is this one that you need to run out and buy, or is this one that you can wait and see, or is this one that you would trash? I would wait and see.
Yeah.
This is like, it's not a buy to me.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
hard.
do it.
It's hard to
hard
rate.
to say.
It's hard to rate without actually like doing the campaign and like
Yeah.
leveling up, because I feel like there's a whole nother aspect to
Right,
it with
the
skills,
campaign.
skill tree.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is like some like pros,
And con, yeah.
but the cons are pretty heavy.
pretty heavy. So you'd need a second edition or something with the rule book, because it's hard to rate because we don't even know what the designers intended.
Yeah.
Did the designers intend every single model to roll when one model touches one other model?
They left way too much
They
up
left
to
way too much
interpretation.
up
like,
to interpretation.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going to say pass. So if we have 3 ratings like buy, pass, or burn or whatever,
Yeah.
well, I guess there's only buy and pass.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I
we
guess
might
you
get, we
can
might
do
get to burn.
We
if
might get to
we-
burn.
yeah.
So I'll pass on
Yeah.
this one. What
I'm-
about you?
I'm gonna pass.
Okay.
I feel like I started off with like Blood Bowl, so it was like the highest.
Yeah, Blood Bowl is fucking sweet.
But I was gonna ask chat. Do y'all have like any suggestions of like games y'all would like to see? I know Joe does. Joe has probably a couple in the queue.
Warlord is slower in cost. Bolt action is the
Oh, yeah,
best
you're
action
talking
game.
about
I
bolt
do have a bunch of bolt action. I've got a German army and I've got an American army. I actually invited your dad to play
Yeah,
that game.
yeah.
So now I can actually play against. I'll
Oh,
just play
man.
against Patrick.
You think we get Bill on the live stream?
if Bill wants to be on a live stream, and we can do like 2-on-2 or 2-on-1, no matter.
All right,
I can
chat,
bring.
I'm gonna try to get my dad.
I
on the
can
live
bring a
stream.
motherfucking Panther tank or a Tiger Panzer. No, hold on. I can bring a Tiger tank, and the Americans can bring their shitty Shermans that
And
aren't
going
to be able
like
to penetrate
real guns
it.
and shit. I'm
What
sure,
what was the name? I wanted to say it's called a Panther, but there was the name of the largest German tank ever built, and I think there was one. It was like in the last year of the war. They couldn't get it out in time, but it was fucking huge.
I've seen like
Mouse.
I've seen like a rail
Yeah, it was the
tank. It was like
mouse.
on like a railroad and like.
Okay, so I don't
Oh,
think
dang, there you
I
go.
don't think it was the mouse. Let me look on eBay here because there was. I want to see real quick because I thought I saw a mouse in.
The railway, yeah, I was thinking of the railway gun. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's technically not a tank, but that thing was
crazy.
crazy huge for sure.
To shoot from France to UK. Trish, she probably took that personally.
What happened?
He said the railgun is shoot from France to the UK. So
That railgun was crazy, and that they actually did use the railgun, I think.
1,000 people to operate. That's crazy.
1,000? Holy
Each shot weighs 7,000 tons. Trish, do you just have this shit like loaded up in your brain? Are you like?
he's into it. I thought I saved.
That's amazing.
Because there's
bro.
another.
I love
There's
the-
another German tank that I saw that was painted. I was like, oh fuck, I want to buy that.
Hey man, you're awesome. Awesome autistic.
Awesome autistic.
That's what he said. Autistic.
I'm awesome autistic. Autistic.
Awesome.
Autistic.
Well, dude, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah, it really did help
Yeah.
to have like a third person like, hey, can you go check this video out real quick, see how other people are playing it? Because if we had to just play it straight up like we originally played it, I'd be like, fuck this game.
Yeah.
This is a burn.
And it would have been over in like
It would have been an instant.
5 minutes.
Instant. Fuck, I guess I didn't save it. I'm almost through the list. Oh, there it is. Jagged Tiger.
Jagged.
Look at this shit.
Oh,
Get how big that tank is. I don't think it's a mouse. It's a bolt action SDKFZ Jagged Tiger. So I think Jagged Tigers are actually bigger than tigers, but not as big as the mouse. The mouse was never used in combat. So I was thinking about buying this. If I face both you and your dad, then the Jagged Tiger.
Get that big ass tank out.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, yeah, it's fixed cannon. That's why it's pretty much useless.
Yeah.
It would have to be. It's not. It's what is it? Propelled artillery or something like that. I don't know what it's classified as. Anyways, that's it. Thank y'all for hanging out with us, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Later, y'all.